Hey gang, and by gang I mean the 5 people who appreciate updates about what's going on with my flying. This last week I had another chance to strap on the old backpack and clip in and go for a flight. And this was at a new place. It was also across the river in Illinois. This was near Valmeyer, Illinois. And there's plenty of farmland around, but there were a couple novelties in this flight too, and I'll point those out. I was happy with my launch there. The conditions were really good. This is a new spot. It was about 30 minutes from St. Louis, and I met up with a PPG buddy, Andrew, to see if conditions were good, and Tim and Jared were a couple other pilots who were there too. You'll see their wings laid out, and this was a grass airfield in the middle of some corn and soybeans. And I should note that as of this editing in 2021, the year of our Lord, it is for sale according to the sign on the door, in case any of you guys are interested, right there on those white roofs. So that was one novelty, and that I'd never been to this location before. Another novelty was that my mom and my sister were there, and so that was neat. But the main course was that this was right along the Mississippi River.
The mighty Mississippi, the old miss, the old man.
Now, I'm originally a Great Lakes guy. I like watching lake freighters, and we don't have much of that in the way of big lakes or freighters around St. Louis, but we do have the Mississippi River, and it's got tug and barge traffic. And I always pictured, when I started doing this, flying along the river, chasing tugs around, and today was like a first step of that for me. I just scoped out the river a little bit. Photo time there. I took that still. Look at my wrist. Doesn't that seem to be kind of a weird angle?
See if we can swoop down a little bit lower here. And by swoop, I mean gently glide.
And that's the LZ that I'm pointing out over there. It's those white buildings, not exactly where I was pointing. I kept a pretty healthy altitude for this flight. I didn't know if I was going to venture across the river. I didn't end up doing that, but I'll save it for the next flight probably. I did get to see a downbound tug pushing a full stack of barges, and you can see it there in the distance. I'll get a little closer and probably post a still photo of it. And that is the Bowling Green. I checked that out on a marine traffic app, and there's a couple of pictures of it. I did not take those pictures. And so I flew up and down the river for a little while, and again, just lovely, sort of overcast, really highlighted the sun there. And after a while, it was time to turn around and leave the river.
Deep river.
And head back to the airfield. I didn't want my family getting bored with me going on some 1.5 hour flight or anything like that. So I was heading back there. There's a combine doing some work, cutting those squares in the rows of corn.
I'd really like to fly right along here.
A lot of crops around. Some of you know that I'm a Lutheran pastor. I have a PPG pilot friend, David, and he's popped up on the phone in other videos, and he said that I should be like the PPG pastor and talk about some theology topics up in the air. And I like that idea. I imagine it would be a lot about Jesus' parables about crops, or maybe taking care of the birds of the air. But I like that idea after I get enough experience that I can just chat and not be focused on flying with all the lobes of my brain. Here I'm doing a little bit of a flyby so I can check the wind. There's my mom right there, mi madre. Anyway, for now, I'm really focused on getting decent flying and getting in a good landing. Last couple times that I was out, I had some sketchy landings, and so I was really due, hopefully, for like a better one. I'll put in a couple of my crummy landings over here. So here we come, and let's see how we do with this one. And I can't complain about that. In fact, I was really happy about it. So it was cool going out there, finding a new place, having a great flight, hanging out with my mom and my sister, and I'm really looking forward to flying this spot again. So you'll probably see a little bit more of this if you watch and keep up with some of these videos.